Good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you all to this yet another exciting session on CSIR Net question discussion. Myself, I am Violet, and before I start, can I please confirm if I am audible? Am I audible for everyone? Good evening, Ashwarya. Thank you for confirming. Myself, I am Dr. Violet, and today we are going to discuss questions from Unit 7, that is from the subunits, that is excretory system, and endocrinology and reproduction. So if you talk about the importance of this particular topic from CSI point of view, let me tell you all, it is very important. A lot of questions are asked from excretory system. If you just scan through the previous year question papers, you can find part C questions from excretory system as well as endocrinology and reproduction. So these are two very important subunits that you should not skip. And today we'll try to discuss some questions related to it, and we will try to see what type of questions are asked. Good evening, Anusha. So let's get started. So the first question is about two individuals, A and B, each of 75 kg body weight. They have similar volume of body water. Both of them had high salt snack. However, individual A also had a glass of alcoholic drink. Based on this information, now you have to tell which one of the following statements is true. Okay. So information is given. The statements are A will have lower circulating level of antidiuretic hormone ADH than B will have lower circulating level of antidiuretic hormone ADH than A. C, the level of ADH will not change in these two individuals. D, the reabsorption of water in kidney will be more in A than B. Can you all try and tell me what should be the right answer for this question? Remember, you have to find out which statement is true. Anupam, just try again. Good, Ashwarya, you're correct. Others, try. It's not a very difficult question. It's simple, just that little bit thinking you have to do about alcoholic drink. So if they have said if a person is consuming alcoholic drink, so you should think about what will happen. Yes, Anusha, very good. Correct. Some idea you might have, you might have heard of what alcoholic drink does. Yes. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you the answer. The answer for this question should be option 1. Okay, that is the statement A. So because we have to find the true statements. Yes, Anupam, now you are correct. Khush, Parveen, very good. You are right. Yes. So other students are also answering. So the right answer is option 1. Now remember, when a person is having alcoholic drink, so the ADH levels will decrease. Okay, so that is why statement A is correct. So it says A will have lower circulating level of ADH compared to B, right? And what does ADH do? ADH help in absorbing water, right? But ADH here is less. Clear? Okay. So alcohol is a diuretic. Diuretic means it will promote water loss through urine. Okay, so it does this by inhibiting the production of a hormone called vasopressin. which plays a large role in the regulation of water excretion. So remember these points, it is very important. Okay. So what is happening when a person is taking a diuretic? So in case of alcohol, if they write a diuretic, so remember what it means. It means it will promote the water loss. So if water loss is occurring means ADH is not present. Okay, because ADH helps in absorbing the water. Right? Clear? So from where does ADH, no, it's being released? Do you all know that? They won't ask you the exact same question in the, they might repeat, but they'll, instead of alcohol, they might write a diuretic, or they'll slightly modify the questions. Okay. So tell me from where does ADH is released? ADH hormone. It works on the kidney, Anupam, but from where it is being released? These are two different things. Kush also, okay. It is working on the kidneys, but the kidneys are not releasing ADH. Who is releasing ADH? Yes, Ashu, correct. So it is released by pituitary. Remember, this is very important. Okay, they might write some statements related to that. So you should be well aware of ADH hormone. It is a very important hormone. A lot of questions are asked. Okay, from where it is released, and does pituitary synthesize ADH? Does pituitary synthesize ADH? Yes, Ashwarya, that is right. Yes, Khush, that is correct. No, Ashu, good. So very good. So the ADH, it is released by pituitary, but it is not synthesized by pituitary, right? Yes. So by which gland it is synthesized? Yes, Ashwarya, very good, right? So it is synthesized by hypothalamus. Okay. So whenever you see a question, okay, just when you see the part C previous year question papers, so when we say solve previous year question papers, so it doesn't mean that just you have to go and solve one particular question and you know the answer. You should try to find out everything related to, what extra, what apart from that particular question, what all relevant, statements might be asked related to that particular hormone, or that particular gland, or whatever they mention in the question, because ADH is important, and not necessarily that next time they'll ask you the same questions, but yes, related to the same topic ADH, they might ask you. Yes, Kush, very good. Hypothalamus, correct. Okay, so just remember it is synthesized by hypothalamus, but it comes and gets stored in pituitary. Okay, posterior pituitary to be more concise. So that was the first question. Let's move ahead and see the second question. Okay, this is also related to excretory system. It's a part C question. Desert animals have longer loop of Henle compared to that of humans. It may be due to the following reasons. A. Long loop of Henle is associated with greater amount of vasopressin secretion. B. In long loop of Henle, the countercurrent exchanger is more effective. C. Long loop of Henle conserves more water. D. Long loop of Henle stimulates production of angiotensin II. So the question is, which of the above reason is or are correct? So you have to find the correct statements over here. So can you all try and tell me? Long loop of Henle. What is the role of long loop of Henle? Ashwarya, try again. That's okay. You're saying option or statements? Option, that is not the right one. So just try again, Ashwarya. Anupam, good. You're right. Surinder, E, correct. Aruna, very good. That is correct. Okay, Ashwarya, so we'll try to solve that confusion that you're facing. Yes, Ashu, good, correct. Yes, statement C is correct. That is confirmed. Yes, Anusha. Yes. So confirm with C point, right? But here you don't have only C, right? Means there is some other option that is relevant, that is correct, right? So can you all think about it? C is correct. Many of y'all said yes, and many of y'all have given me the right answer as well. So let me tell you all, counter-current exchanger. So this counter-current exchange mechanism that we have studied, so it occurs only in long loop of Henle, right? So it tries to, the osmolarity increases in the long loop of Henle when it goes down, right? Yeah, this is the descending limb, this is the U part of the loop of Henle, and this is the ascending limb. So over here, the osmolarity keep on decreasing, right? And if it is a long loop of Henle, so counter-current exchanger is more effective. So that is why the right answer will be option 2, B and C. Okay. So let's, yes, Ramlakshmi, correct. Ramalakshmi, right. Saujanya, very good, correct. Okay. So, so why they have long loop of Henle? Whenever these desert animals, okay, like they need to conserve water. Okay, so it is very important. Like another example is kangaroo rat. So they do not drink and can obtain water only from catabolism. Okay, because water is less, so they cannot drink, that much water is not available, so they have to obtain water. So the longer the loop of Henle, so they will try to conserve more water relative to the overall depth of the cortex. Higher will be the osmolarity. So because of osmolarity changes, so they will absorb, this long loop of Henle will absorb more water. Okay, so the kidney thereby retains as much water as possible, so it will minimize loss of water during water shortage. Okay, so this counter current system works over here. It works only in long loop of Henle, remember that, right? So it will concentrate the urine. So as a result, there will be less water loss. Okay, welcome, Ramlakshmi. So long loop of Henle. Now, in which part of loop of Henle does water get no, reabsorbed into the tubule cells? Is it descending or ascending part of loop of Henle? Before that, we have PCT, then you have the descending limb, ascending limb, and then you have DCT, right? So in the loop of Henle, whether it is descending limb or ascending limb that will absorb water, do you all remember? Anybody can tell me? Because from this part also they ask questions, right? Which part, no, which part of loop this nephrons will absorb water, which will absorb sodium, like that they do ask questions. Yes, correct. Descending. Okay, Saujanya, Ashwarya, it is descending limb, this part. Okay, it will absorb water. Okay, because here the osmolarity will keep on increasing. So you have to go and you have to be thorough with the counter current exchange mechanisms. Okay, we have the counter current multiplier and the counter current exchanger. Okay, so in the, remember, in the descending limb only water gets reabsorbed. In ascending limb, no or very less. So you can just consider it as no. Okay, that water will get reabsorbed over here. So it is basically the descending limb of loop of Henle where water is getting reabsorbed. Okay, yes, Vanishri, correct. Okay. Now, if it is, if the vasopress, means if the ADH is present, okay, remember, only then water will get reabsorbed in DCT and the collecting duct. Okay. And now, if water is getting reabsorbed, so it's a concentrated urine. What about osmolarity? Osmolarity will increase or decrease of the urine compared to blood. Osmolarity will be high or low. It's a concentrated urine formation that is taking place, right? Because water is getting reabsorbed. Can you collect? No, can you all tell me that? Yes, Ashu, good. High, very good, Vanishri. It will be high. Yes, correct. Correct. So under the influence of ADH, okay, water will get reabsorbed. So as a result, osmolarity will increase. Yes, Ram Lakshmi Surendra, right. So let's move ahead and see the next question. Next question is rated for again excretory system. So if the diameter of afferent and efferent arteriole is same, then its effect on GFR will be GFR will decrease, GFR will increase. Statement C says depending on the physiological condition, GFR either increase or decrease. D, no effect. Very important. Okay, here you have to know about what is afferent arteriole, what is efferent arteriole. Okay, where it is present. So all that you need to know. Okay, some answers are coming up. Try again, Anupam, Saujanya, Ashu. This is the answer for this question, right? Yeah. Ashu is correct. Very good. Surender, right. Little bit you have to think over here and answer, okay? It's not a very, direct type of question, but if you think properly, you can answer. Not difficult as well. Yes. Mm. Saujanya, Anupam can try again. Okay, so let me tell you the right answer over here. The right answer for this question number 3 is answer 1 or statement A. Okay, so it says if the diameter, now, normally what happens, this is the afferent, okay, afferent will bring the blood, okay, and efferent from where the blood will exit. So this is efferent. Now the diameter of efferent is less compared to afferent normally, okay, how it is present in our body. Yes, Saujanya, right. When Mishri, it's the option 1 is correct, okay. So now the question says the diameter of afferent and efferent arteriole is same. Now why this afferent is more diameter and efferent is less? So when more, when blood comes and then when it has to be filtered, now when the blood is coming out, so there will be more, resistance to the flow of blood. So as a result, there'll be more pressure created over here. Okay, that is why the diameter over here is less. Okay, the diameter is here is less, so that that is why the hydrostatic pressure in the glomerular capillaries is much higher compared to the true capillaries or the muscle capillaries. Okay, so that is the reason why the efferent diameter is less compared to afferent. The question is the diameter is same, then what will happen? If the diameter is same, then definitely this pressure will not be there, right? So this filtration, the glomerular filtration rate will decrease because the pressure that is required for filtration, so that will not be present, right? Did you all get this part? Just a minute, students. Yes. So did you all get this question? Okay, Anusha. So now, so based on this same question, they might little bit alter and they can ask you. Okay. So be very thorough of about what is afferent arteriole, what is efferent arteriole, right? What is their diameter? So just remember, E means exit. So from where the blood is coming out. Okay, so let's move ahead and see the next question. So you can see the diagram over here as well. So here they have drawn the afferent is this side and efferent is this side. So afferent arteriole will bring the blood. So if there's a vasoconstriction of this arteriole, okay, now this is little different. So you can have understanding of this as well, what they have shown you over here. So if the diameter decreases over here, okay, if there's a vasoconstriction, so that time the GFR, okay, if the diameter of afferent decreases, that time GFR will decrease. Okay, and so in this way, you can think like they can ask you some other statements related to the diameters. And if the efferent arteriole diameter decreases, so again there will be vasoconstriction, the diameter will decrease, but that time the GFR will increase. So there are two different things that is happening over here with the same effect. Vasoconstriction of afferent will decrease the GFR, vasoconstriction of efferent will increase the GFR. Okay, I'm sure everybody has understood why it is happening like that. Now tell me why, if afferent arteriole diameter is decreasing, why the GFR is decreasing? Can you all give me one reason? If afferent diameter is decreasing, why GFR is decreasing? We understood about efferent, right? If efferent decreases, why GFR is increasing? What about afferent? Very good, Ashu. Very good. Your concepts are very clear. I really appreciate that. Yes, so here what will happen if there is a vasoconstriction? Anyone else can tell me? You can think. Okay, Aruna, you are on the right track. Yes, pressure will be altered. That is fine. Will more blood intake take place, Manishri? Are you? I think you are saying you're thinking right, but writing wrong. So it is less blood will flow, right, Manishri? Because if the diameter decreases, less blood will flow. Okay. So as a result, less blood flow means when blood is only less, so definitely the pressure will be less. So GFR will decrease. Okay, Surinder, got it? So it is related to the blood flow. Okay, remember that it is related to blood flow. Okay, it's okay, Manish, you're trying, that is good. Now let's move ahead and see the next question. Fourth question. Parathyroid hormone regulates calcium homeostasis in humans. The following statements are made regarding parathyroid hormone. Statement A, it is 108 amino acid residue, long hormone whose 1 to 42 amino acid exhibits full biological activity. It is an 84 amino acid hormone whose 1 to 3 amino acid exhibits full biological activity. C, an acute decrease of calcium results in a marked increase of parathyroid hormone mRNA, followed by increased rate of parathyroid hormone synthesis. D, rate of degradation of proparathyroid hormone increases when calcium concentrations are low. E, cathepsin B cleaves parathyroid hormone into two fragments. Okay, so this is a very recent question that they had asked. Okay, Surinder, good. So which one of the following option represents the combinations of all correct statements? Okay, so here you have to be very careful and you have to think. You have to think which are all the correct statements. Okay, 1 A, C and D, B, 2 B, C and E, 3 A, D and E, 4 B, D and E. Okay. Now, by seeing the question, many of the students will not think of even reading, right? It looks a little complicated, but it is not. Okay, it is not complicated. Just that whatever you know, even if you don't know the structure, okay, you don't know how many amino acids and all that, whatever function you know, with that you can find out the right answer. So just try and tell me what should be the right answer for this question. Based on the function, I'm assuring you, based on the function only you can find the answer. Okay, you don't even need to remember the amino acids and all that. They have written the statements, but if you know the function, you can solve the question. Okay, Ashu, very good. Good thinking. Right answer. Aruna, just try again. Vanishri, good. That's correct. See, it looks complicated, right? But easily you all can find out what is the right answer. Others, try students. There's no harm in trying, right? Think about the function. Okay, Anupam, no. One that you have said is correct, other is not correct. So just remember, when parathyroid hormone is released, parathyroid hormone regulates calcium levels, okay, fine. But what it does, when in blood parathyroid hormone decreases, means when in blood calcium decreases, okay, that time parathyroid hormone is released. Okay, so based on that, can you tell what will happen? Okay, Anusha, that is right. Very good. Yes. E is correct. You're sure with E, that is correct. Okay. So let us see this question. I'll try to make you understand how to solve this. See, based on this understanding, first thing we know, as I said, okay, what is the function of parathyroid hormone? That everybody is knowing, right? Whenever in the blood calcium level decreases, that time parathyroid hormone is released. So C is definitely correct. As many of you all told me, C is correct, right? Now, an acute decrease of calcium results in a marked increase of parathyroid hormone mRNA, followed by increased rate of parathyroid hormone synthesis, because calcium is less, so more of this has to be released, the hormone. So definitely mRNA transcription translation will increase. So C is correct. Now D, what it says, rate of degradation of pro-parathyroid hormone increases when calcium concentration are low. If calcium is less, parathyroid hormone should form, right? Pro-parathyroid hormone means there's a step, right? The zymogens, how they get converted. Now, initially it will be pro and then they'll get cleaved, sorry, and then they form the proper or the active hormone, right? So this understanding you all might have had in biochemistry. It is being taught, right? Zymogens, how they get they are converted. So now if C is correct, D is rate of degradation of pro parathyroid hormone increases. It will not increase. It will decrease, because if you are saying C is correct, then definitely D will not be correct. Yes, right, Vanishri. Very good. So D will not be correct. Now, if D is not correct and C is correct, so where you are seeing that option? You are only seeing in option 2. Nowhere else they have given you that. So if you have this understanding based on their function, even if you don't know what is their amino acids and all that, blah blah and cathepsin, so it's fine. Okay, just see that you need to find the right answer. So the right answer is option 2, right? I'm sure now everybody has understood this part. Anupam, did you get it? Okay, that is why D is not correct. Okay, because the what they have written is completely wrong. Rate of degradation will not increase. It'll why should it decrease? Because it has to get converted into parathyroid hormone, okay, when calcium is low. So that is why D is incorrect, and D they have given you everywhere, means only one option is left, that is option 2. So that is the right answer. Okay, but yes, let's see what is the structure of parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone is a polypeptide. Okay, remember it has 84 amino acids, and as I said, it is a pro-hormone. Okay, so pro-hormone means it is not synthesized in an active form. It will be initially inactive, but then it will get converted into active, right? So that is what it is, the meaning of a pro-hormone. Hence, A is incorrect and B is correct, because it is 84 amino acids and A states stated how much? It stated around 108. Okay, so A is incorrect, B is correct. And then we understood why C is correct. So the parathyroid gland secretes parathyroid hormone, a polypeptide, in response to low calcium levels detected in the blood. Hence, statement C is correct and D is incorrect. Okay. And cathepsin B from parathyroid selectively cleaves parathyroid hormone. Okay, remember this to produce parathyroid hormone. Hence, E is correct. Okay, so it is cathepsin B that will cleave this pro parathyroid hormone. Right? So the right answer is your option 2. It looks complicated, but it is not. Okay, if you know the functions. Okay, let's move ahead and see the next question. Okay, so before we move on to the fifth question, I just wanted to share with you all about the Watson Junoon scholarship that is being advertised by Biotechnica. Now, as you all are getting, every day you all are getting so much benefits from Biotechnica. So it's better that we share this among your friends, among your juniors, seniors. So whoever is interested, they can join Biotechnica with this Watson Junoon scholarship. Admissions are open, so now you can even get more information on this toll-free numbers. So here, whoever is enrolled, they'll get 1 year coaching for CSIR, NET, and GATE exams, even for CUT, IIT, JAM, GATB according to their know what is their needs. 12 months of access to all global and national workshops that are conducted by Biotechnica. I'm sure many of you all are already getting the benefit of attending their workshops. Then our programming internship with live project hands-on. Now this is very important as a student, okay, where you get hands-on experience. Then 4 certification courses, and it's all depending on your choice. You can do that. Direct access to our coaching experts on WhatsApp, as well as one VIP pass, so you can attend the CRISPR conference, that is the CRISPR Congress 2022 that will be held. Okay, so just enroll now and share it among your friends. So call us on this toll-free number if you need more informations. Okay, let's move ahead and see the fifth question. Fifth question is related to endocrinology. So, which one of the following options correctly relates the source gland organ with its respective hormone as well as function? Right? So, if you see in endocrinology, they ask you statement based questions, right? They have even asked match the following type of questions, okay? And they even ask graph based questions. So, anything, match the following, graph based, statement based, any type of questions might be asked. So here the source gland is given, the hormone is given, and the function is mentioned. So you have to choose the correct option. Means wherever the gland, hormone, and function is all correctly mentioned. So that you have to find it out. Okay. So it was a part C question. So let's see if you can find it out. Okay, very good, Saujanya. Yeah, that's correct. Manishri, right. Anusha, correct. Ashu, correct. Ramalakshmi, correct. Ashwarya, good, correct. So everybody knows how to solve this question. Very good. Okay. So that is what if you try to find out match the following type of question, whenever you get your question paper, so initially what we do, we scan the question paper, right? We have to find out what all questions we can do. So it's always better to find to solve the questions that are having this match the following type of questions. First thing, they are easy compared to statement based. They are not confusing. They are not those trap questions. Okay. And second thing, it's very less time takes, right? Very less time, because you don't have to do much. You don't have to read through so many big statements, right? So that is why it's helpful, and it's easily it's scoring, and it really saves your time. So it is very good. It's important that you select these type of questions. We just got the clue for this question in previous question, is it? Okay, yes, right. Vanishri, good, you have connected it very well. Okay, so let's see what is the correct option over here. Okay, we already discussed this part. That is why, right? That is what Vanishri is saying. Yes. But it's good that you see, that is what I said. That is what I said. They'll not ask you the same questions, but they will ask you similar questions. Okay, so the fifth one is answer 3. Option 3 is the right answer. Okay, so why the first one is incorrect? Let's see each one of them. Thyroid releases thyroxine. Okay, does thyroxine regulate calcium level? What is the function of thyroxine? Can you all recall and tell me? Yes, Vanishri, right. Good, you have really connected the questions well. Even I missed that yeah, we have discussed this question. But yeah, you can connect it, right? They have one particular their favorite topic, and then they'll ask you questions related to that, but it'll not be same or but related to that. Metabolism, right? Ramalakshmi, it is metabolism, right? BMR regulation, correct. So that is why one is incorrect. Okay, this function is not correct. Second one, yes, Ashu. It is basically BMR and sodium potassium pumps. Okay, that is right. Yes, yes, Ashu, correct. Then second one is anterior pituitary hormone oxytocin, contraction of uterine muscles. So oxytocin is not released by anterior pituitary, right? So by which gland it is released? That is why this is not correct. Oxytocin is released by quickly. Anybody remembers? Posterior pituitary, right? Ashu, correct. So it is posterior pituitary, students. Okay, remember. Then the third one was posterior pituitary releases vasopressin, reabsorption of water in distal tubules of nephron. Correct. So this is the correct one, as I said. Vasopressin is released by posterior pituitary, not by hypothalamus. Okay, it is synthesized there, but from where it is released is posterior pituitary, and it works on the nephrons in the kidneys, but it is not released by kidneys. It's okay, Ashwarya. Okay, so third is the right answer. Now, fourth one says corpus luteum, estrogen supports pregnancy. So, what is incorrect over here? What is incorrect over here? Hypothalamus releases estrogen. No, corpus luteum, progesterone. That is correct, but that is not the right thing that you are saying. No, first thing, why it is incorrect? Surendra, what you are saying is right, okay? But here, according to this question, is corpus luteum a gland? First, tell me. No, right? It is not a gland. Okay, and here they have written source gland. Okay, and estrogen is not released by corpus luteum, so it is not. Estrogen gland is what? So they have not written the correct gland. Progesterone is the hormone, that is correct. Kidney, estrogen, not adrenal gland, students. Estrogen is released by which gland? Which endocrine gland? Not adrenal. There is weak androgens that you are saying. Luteinizing hormone, LH. No, about hormone I'm not asking. This gland is not mentioned correctly, students. Estrogen is released by what? By ovary, right? Okay, so that is why this is incorrect over here. Okay, because they have written gland. And in corpus luteum, what is corpus luteum? It is once the ovulation takes place. So this is corpus luteum, and corpus luteum releases progesterone. So it is not a gland over here. Okay, and estrogens, they are actually released by the ovary. So ovary will be the gland over here. Adrenal secretes weak androgens, testosterone, okay, those, not estrogens. Okay. Placenta, basically its major hormone is what? That is HCG. Okay, clear. Estrogen, the majorly estrogens from where it is released? It is released by the theca interna cells, if you remember. Okay, that is from where estrogens are majorly released. But yes, some other glands like even placenta. Okay, but placenta majorly it is your HCG. Okay, but yes, some other cells can also release. Yes, Anupam, that is what I'm saying. The weak androgens are released. Okay, fine. Got it? Okay, Vanishri, Ashwarya. So let's move ahead and see. Okay, okay. Here I have given you a figure over here. So you can see hypothalamus release. No, the it will stimulate the posterior pituitary, so it will release the hormone. Hormone goes and gets stored in posterior pituitary, and then it is released. So this is about vasopressin or ADH. Okay, and then you can see how it is altering the pressure. Okay, because ADH also plays a role in blood maintaining the blood volumes. In that way, it can alter the pressure. So it will increase the arterial pressure. So there are different receptors. Okay, V1 receptors. So blood vessels will undergo constriction. Remember, vasopressin is always a vasoconstrictor. Okay, that is another important point that we should remember. It will increase the systemic vascular resistance. So that is why blood pressure will increase. Okay. And in the kidneys, what it will do? It will help in water reabsorption. So it has two important functions. It acts as a vasoconstrictor. So it will constrict the blood vessels. So pressure will increase. And in the kidneys, it will increase the blood volume. Okay, because water will get absorbed in the nephrons. Right. So this is what you have to remember over here. Okay, we'll move ahead and see the next question. That is question number 6. The following diagram represents steroidogenic pathway in the zona glomerulosa of the adrenal cortex. So they have given you a pathway over here. Okay, what do A, B, and C represent respectively? So can you all try and tell me? Can you all try and tell me? What? Yes, Anupam. Okay. For males, it can be even testis can release. Okay. Fourth one. Manishi, you need to try again. I'll the answer over here. Okay, it will be option 2, students. Okay, so we will see how to solve this particular question. It is related to the pathway. Okay, how this hormone is being synthesized. So it is about aldosterone hormone. Aldosterone is released by which gland? Yes, Anupam. Right. Okay, you're saying C. Anusha, it is option 2. Okay. Yes, Vanishri, you have mentioned it correct. So which gland releases aldosterone? Do you all remember? So I've shared this, no, the pathway because we are not sure if next time they'll ask this question or not, but you can have understanding of this pathway. Yes, adrenal glands, very good. Saujanya, Surendra, right. So now let's see how, so this part in adrenal glands, we have zona glomerulata, right, zona fasciculata. So these are the two important parts, and then zona reticularis. So zona glomerulata and zona fasciculata. Okay, so here you can see what all is happening in these two zones. So first, for aldosterone, what is the pathway in zona glomerulata? Cholesterol gets converted to pregnenolone, then to progesterone, then 11-deoxycorticosterone, which will further get converted to corticosterone, 18-hydroxycorticosterone, and aldosterone. So this is the pathway. Okay, now according to this pathway, if we see cholesterol, pregnenolone, and then the B will be your progesterone. Okay, so it will be this one, progesterone. Then 11-deoxycorticosterone, that is getting converted into corticosterone, right? So it will be this and this. Now here you can see many options like 2 and 4 are similar. Now A will be your mitochondria. Okay, so what happens in this pathway? I think I have a figure. Yes. So what happens in this pathway is, you can see cholesterol is taken in by the mitochondria and then they are getting converted into pregnenolone. So it is happening in the mitochondria. Okay, and then further it will move into the smooth ER and then further the steps will occur, and then again it will be released by the zona glomerulata cells. Okay, so it will be the mitochondria. Clear? So A will be mitochondria. So the right answer will be option 2, students. Okay, again you can see in the other steps, again it is going back to mitochondria. Okay, is it clear for everyone? Okay, not saying options. Okay, Anusha, okay, I did not get it. C, okay, C, you were saying that is corticosterone. Okay, that was correct. Okay. So I have just shared other pathways also. So if in case if they ask any time again, so you can have a note of it. Okay. For zona fasciculata, this pregnenolone will further get converted to 17-hydroxypregnenolone, then 17-hydroxyprogesterone, 11-deoxycortisol, and then cortisol. So for zona fasciculata, cortisol is the major hormone. Okay, and then again you can see their pathways. Okay, and the structures also I have given you to have an understanding, but that much in details they will not ask, like how they have just asked the steps. Okay, so you can see mind changes and the enzymes. If you can try to have go through the enzymes. So it is 17 hydroxylase. Okay, 17 alpha hydroxylase. So here it is the diagrammatic representation of the same pathway that we saw. Okay, and here you can see through which compartments they are moving. Okay, and what this zona glomerulata has G protein based signaling. Okay, and zona fasciculata will also have the G protein based signaling. Okay, and here it is the PIP2 that will play a role over here. Okay, in this case it is the cyclic AMP, the second messengers. Yeah, so that is about this question. Let's move ahead. The seventh question is again related to excretory system. The difference in circulation between glomerular capillaries and true capillaries are described by a researcher in the following statements. A. The hydrostatic pressure in glomerular capillaries is higher than that in true capillaries. B. The endothelial cells are fenestrated in glomerular capillaries but not in true capillaries. C. Both filtration and fluid movement into capillary takes place in true capillaries, but only filtration occurs in glomerular capillaries. D. The plasma colloid osmotic pressures in both the ends of glomerular capillaries or true capillaries are similar. So you have to find which is not correct, students. So just try and let me know what should be the right answer over here. Yes, Anupam, that question is answered, right? I said yes to that. Okay, Ashu, very good. Very quickly you have solved the question. That is correct. Others try similar question. You remember in the last class we were solving in the last YouTube session related to excretory system. A very similar question. It was statement based, and here just 4 statements were there. There I think they had written 6 statements. So same based on same comparison between glomerular capillaries. There they had written muscle capillaries, but it is almost same similar question. There I think they'd asked the correct statement. Here they're asking the not correct ones. Anybody else can try and tell me? Okay. So let's see how to solve this particular question. Here you have to find the not correct ones. Okay. Now the statements what they have written. So I'm sure many of you all know these statements. Vanishri, you're right. Absolutely right. That is the correct answer. Okay. So what you have said is correct. So it will be actually fourth one. Only D. So let's see. The hydrostatic pressure in glomerular capillaries is higher than that in true capillaries. So this is a correct statement. The endothelial cells are fenestrated in glomerular capillaries. Okay, so there are more bigger holes, right? They are more fenestrated compared to true capillaries. So that is why B is also correct. C, both filtration. Okay, Manishri, that is why B is also correct. Both filtration and fluid movement into capillary takes place in true capillaries, but only filtration occurs. So this is also correct, right? Because in glomerulus over here, what is happening? Only filtration is occurring. Is anything going back into the fluid? No, right? So for glomerular capillaries, only filtration is occurring. But in case of true capillaries, what is happening? Now arteriole will branch off, it will form capillaries, and then the venules will join back. Okay, so here both filtration as well as fluid movement is occurring. Okay, so both the way direction, the movement is occurring. So that is why C is also correct. C is correct, right? Now D says the plasma colloid osmotic pressure in both the ends of glomerular capillaries or true capillaries are similar. Okay, now for glomerular capillaries and true cap, it is not similar, right? First of all, if you think in terms of the glomerular capillaries, now, once filtration occurs, okay, so what is happening? More solutes are passing over here into the Bowman's capsule and in the nephrons. But what is happening inside this capillaries? Proteins are increasing, right? Now, when proteins is increasing, so colloid osmotic pressure will also increase. So it is not the same in both ends of glomerular capillaries. Okay, so inside the colloid osmotic pressure is much higher because proteins are not passing, right? Only very small proteins are passing, if you all remember. In So that is why the major proteins are staying back, right? So that is why only D is not correct statement. It is not the same. Clear for everyone till here? So hydrostatic pressure in glomerular capillaries is higher compared to that in muscle capillaries or true capillaries. Hydrostatic pressure is higher at the arterial end. Okay, if you talk about the true capillaries. So there, arterial end has a higher pressure. In renal glomerular capillaries, the oncotic or the osmotic pressure increases as the filtering fluid leaves behind proteins. So that is why the oncotic pressure or osmotic pressure is not same. And the glomerular blood hydrostatic pressure promotes filtration, whereas the colloid one will oppose it. Okay, so this also you should remember. The glomerular blood hydrostatic pressure will increase the filtration, while the colloid osmotic pressure, if it is increasing, so it will inhibit the filtration. Okay, so it is in a negative direction. Okay, let's move ahead and see. This is the last question for this session. The above figure depicts the regulation of hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis. Changes in cortisol level in Addison's disease can lead to suppressed immune system and increased blood glucose level. 2. Gain of body weight and lightening of skin. 3. Loss of body weight, reduced blood glucose level and hyperpigmentation. 4. Increased blood glucose and activated immune system. So you have to say which of the above is correct. 1, statement 2, statement 3 and statement 4. So image has also been given of how this hypothalamo pituitary adrenal axis is being regulated. So can you all tell which is the correct statement over here? Now you have to know what happens in Addison's disease. Okay, if you know that, it becomes easier. What happens in Addison's disease? Anybody can try and tell me what should be the right answer for this question. Vanishri, try again. Ashu, very good. Ashwarya, correct. Good. Anupam, try again. Surinder, absolutely right. Good. Okay, let's see this question. Okay, so first thing that you need to know over here is what happens in Addison's disease. Okay, now in Addison's disease, remember, adrenal glands will make very less cortisol. Okay, so even though ACTH is present, cortisol level will be less. Okay, even if ACTH is high. So ACTH levels often are elevated to higher than 250 picogram per ml in patients with Addison. Means ACTH is high, okay, but the cortisol and aldosterone levels are low. So in that case, you can confirm that it is Addison's disease. Now, if cortisol is less, so what will happen to the body weight? Cortisol, no, what is the function of cortisol? Cortisol increases the breakdown of fats and proteins, and it protects the body against any kind of stress. So it tries to increase the glucose of our body, right? The gluconeogenesis pathways will occur, right? But in this, okay, you said that. Okay, Anupam. Third is correct. Okay, if you have said that, right. So that will be correct. So now here in Addison's, cortisol is less. Okay, so that is why loss of body weight will occur. So there's less blood glucose level, because if cortisol is less, opposite will happen, glucose will not increase, body weight will decrease. So third one is the right option over here. And what about hyperpigmentation? Now as you can see this axis, okay, CRH is released by the hypothalamus, it will stimulate the pituitary to release ACTH. ACTH will stimulate the adrenal cortex to release cortisol. Okay, and blood glucose level will increase. But in Addison's disease, cortisol is less, cortisol is decreasing, so blood glucose is decreasing. But ACTH is high, right? Now, when ACTH is high, so ACTH will help in melanin synthesis. It also promotes melanin synthesis. So, melanocytes will release melanin. So, that leads to skin darkening. Okay, so they have given you this pathway. So hyperpigmentation will occur. So if you know what happens in Addison's disease, it becomes very easy to solve this particular question, right? So the right answer is your option 3 over here. Yes, Manish, it is a stress loss hormone, correct? Yes, okay. Yes, if blood glucose is high, inflammatory response is less. If blood glucose is less, then it will be opposite. Okay. So I already told you the answer is your option 3 over here. Okay, and more I have written about Addison's disease, what happens in chronic Addison's disease. There is a stimulant effect of excess ACTH on the melanocytes to produce melanin. So hyperpigmentation is caused by high levels of circulating ACTH that will bind to a receptor that is known as melanocortin 1 receptor. that is present on the surface of dermal melanocytes. So that is why it is leading to hyperpigmentation. That is the reason. So it is a life-threatening situation that results in low blood pressure, low blood levels of sugar, and high blood levels of potassium. Right? Is it clear for everyone? Any doubts for this particular question? Okay. Then with this, I'll stop this session over here. So just before I end, just share among your friends about the Watson Junoon Scholarship and what all benefits it can provide. Let everybody use it and clear CSIR and whatever exams they're interested in, because not only for CSIR and GATE, even for CUT, IIT JAM, and for Watson Junoon Scholarship is open for all these exams as well. Welcome Ashwarya, welcome everyone. Thank you students, thank you for being such a very active and listening audience. Thank you everyone.